Thank you very much. Afternoon, Daniel. Just to reflect on the win over Sunderland, first of all, and the yellow card that you were given right at the end. Have you had a chance to talk to the PGMOL about that any further, and does that yellow card still stand?
Yes, to speak about the game was an important win for us, and a pretty emotional win, obviously also with the last second winner. Yes, it's a fact that the yellow card stands, and I have to accept it. The rules are like they is, and it is what it is, and I adapt to this. I was then, after we scored the late winner, a few yards outside my coaching zone, and I was outside for 6 or 7 seconds before I went back in. And if someone then thinks I deserve a yellow card for this celebration, I have to accept the rules, and it's a yellow card, and for that there will be a touchline ban then for the Sheffield United game.
As you say, it is the rules, but do you think referees or match officials should be perhaps given licence to just exercise a little common sense in these kind of emotional scenarios where you take all the joy out of football?
No, it makes no sense. But what I think it feels like after the rules has changed, right now we have games in the Premier League and the Championship where it's more or less like always maximum just one manager in the dugout, because at this stage of the season, after 30 games, there are many bans, and it doesn't make sense what I think about it. I have to say, yes, it's more like I overstepped the rules because I was outside my coaching zone for 6 seconds, and then you have to accept that if someone wants to blame the rules to give a yellow card for this, and you can't argue against this, and this is what it is. Yes, if you ask me, feels of course a bit different. I'm professional management meanwhile since 17 years, and I think it was overall my 6th yellow card, means all 3 years I get a yellow card, that I wouldn't have to miss a game because of this. Then would have never believed me if you would have told me this a few weeks or a few months ago, but that's a fact, and you have to adapt to it. So yes, overall, if you think once a player, for example, should be disallowed to attend for a game or is suspended or whatever, it's always like either for a nasty, over-aggressive tackle when you scare to injure someone. Yeah, this is when you should be suspended. Or if you're there with try to create a tactical advantage by a tactical foul, for example, to avoid a big chance. Anyhow, if it makes sense to punish someone for celebrations, it's a bit difficult there because it was not over-aggressive. I didn't scare someone with an injury. And also it was not a tactical advantage just because I was celebrating. Yes, if I look at myself, I always try to be self-critical, but I can't remember one game in my whole career when after the final whistle my first walk was not over for a handshake, either to congratulate or just to shake hands with the opponent's manager. Can't remember one game when I was celebrating or disrespectful in these terms. And in terms of goal celebrations, I would back myself to be probably there that there is no other manager in whole Western Europe who celebrates less about goals than myself, but my lads are to blame, if I'm honest, because they just scored too many goals. What should I do? And sometimes, although the fire is burning and try to channel my fire as much as possible, the lads are so brilliant and score so many goals. Even for me, there's sometimes a moment when I can't channel the emotions, and sometimes there is a late goal in the 95th minute. And even I want to celebrate a little bit. So I'm not a robot. I'm just a human being. And sometimes, the fire is still burning. Yes, and if someone then thinks I deserve for this yellow card, I have to accept this and say, okay, come on, I'll try next time not to celebrate at all. I won't ask my lads to score less goals. I know we have scored more goals than any other team in whole Europe. And then if you have to so many goals, and it's also difficult to say, come on, I don't celebrate at all. It is what it is, and we'll find some solutions.
You really had to fight hard for the win against Sunderland. Do you learn more about your players in those kind of matches than in the ones where you steamroller aside 7-0, 4-0 find out more about them?
Yes, of course. So comfortable wins like a 7-0, a 4-0 are always great to enjoy. But these tight games are quite important. And in these tight games, you have to make sure that you win the points and show winning mentality and also resilience. And of course, I take each and every win, and I much prefer also a comfortable cruise to win. But as we all know, this type of wins more or less like to turn the game and to win perhaps in a tight game against a really good opponent, more or less in the last second. Also, like we have scored many perfect team goals during the season, but also sometimes to fight for a goal, to fight the ball into this rectangle. These are the best type of wins, and this is what football then is all about, and creates so many emotions. And it was of course a great win, and this points during the season are quite crucial for the whole spirit, for the whole togetherness, and also for the whole belief, because then also you can score even added time, and also well deserved in added time, and for that definitely good for the confidence and for belief of my lads. In my judgment of them, nothing changed, because I would always back my team also to score late in the games. We've done this several times. It was more or less another time this time around. I know that we can turn games in the last seconds. I know that we can score in the final moments. I always believe in my players, and for that nothing has changed in my belief into my players. But of course, these moments are quite crucial for the group, but also for the whole unit as a club, and the togetherness together with the supporters. And for that, of course, a great night for us.
Sheffield United then next away from home. Do you expect them to be a different proposition?
More or less on the same amount of points like us. We just have the advantage of the 2 points. And we are perhaps better in the goal difference. But this says also like they were able to win many tight games, and this is also a sign of quality. If you always find the way also in the tight games also to win the game, and this is also totally due to Chris Wilder's handwriting. So he has forged a great unity and a team who shows great consistency, unbelievable amount of points after this many games, and for that. Yes, to play then away at Bramall Lane, it's just one of the toughest places you can go. We know that they play with confidence and with really good home record, but yes, as a football player and also a bit as a manager, looking forward to be in competition with the best sides that you can face, and this is definitely one of the toughest tests we can face during the season. And for that, we're looking forward to this game, and we know we have to be at our best in order to give ourselves a chance to win some points. I definitely expect a tight game, and a game where we have to be in many contents, really on the top of our game in order to give ourselves a chance. But we also travel in good confidence, knowing that we are in a good shape, and it will be an important game on Monday.
Too early to describe it as a title decider?
Yes, of course, because it's not the 44 game day. It's still so many games to play, and the phrase "massive game" I've heard it already 20 times during the season. I will hear it 10 more times. So for that, this league is all about consistency, and you know my attitude that I don't think that the league is decided in this more or less spotlight games. Yeah, it's nice for the broadcasters and for the supporters, and everyone has the right also to be excited. Everything's okay. But in order to finish in top position, you have to show consistency. I mentioned also last season, we've won all the 2 games against Leicester. We've won all the 2 games against Ipswich, but they are playing in the Premier League right now. So it's more or less like the everyday work, the consistency that you have to show. This is crucial in order to be successful in this league, and not to be good in one special game anyhow. Yes, if it would be the 44th game day, yes, it would be different. But even after this game, there are so many points to play for. So if it's a win, a loss, a draw, nothing is decided after the game. And just another chance also to add points to your points tally for both teams, and to add some points is always priceless and important. And for that, I think both teams want to do this. We want to do this, of course, as well. We want to keep our momentum going, and for that, it's an important game, but also not more than just a chance to add 1 or 3 points.
That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Hi, Daniel. Good to see you. Appreciate it's not necessarily about the game as much, but it's been a big story this week. 49ers Enterprises looking into takeover at Rangers, reports, etc. Can I just ask you about that? Like, if you had any dialogue on your front with that? And is there any concern at all that might end up distracting the players, or are you how easy is it to keep them just focused on what is the massive thing of the promotion race?
No, of course you can and are allowed to ask, but it's not my topic at all, because my attitude, I just speak about my club and my concentration, and for me it's not a topic at all to speak about what happens for other clubs. My only focus is on Leeds United, on nothing else, and the players the same, so it doesn't distract us at all. We are just focused. Listen, we have the chance here to create something really extraordinary in the history of this club. This club, in the more than the last 20 years, was just once able to promote back to the Premier League under Marcelo a few years ago, and this was during a season during Corona when no supporters were allowed. We have the chance right now, more or less the first time since 25 years, to promote back to the Premier League. And this is also the first time together with supporters. It would be a milestone in the history of this club. And there we don't have 1% to waste in thinking about other topics or other speculations or rumors. It's quite normal that in this business there are rumors or something like this. But my thoughts and the thoughts of the players and everyone here who is connected with Leeds United are just on. We want to be successful, and we have a pretty privileged position right now with 72 points after 33 games, and my only focus is just this club. Our only focus is just this club, and also to find a way against a really, really good Sheffield United side with strong players, with the top manager, to find a way also to keep our momentum going, to win some points. And for that, I don't have 1% of energy to waste about speculation or about anything else. Don't distract us as all. Also doesn't distract us what happens at other clubs, because we want to create something really special here, and all our energy goes into that.
Yeah, that's a good answer on it. So much going on. We've not even asked you about team news, really. Where are we at with that in terms of team news at the moment? And in particular, is there anything new? And also, how are Patrick Bamford and Max Wöber getting on?
Yes, what is new is more or less the first time since ages we have more or less 1 week between the games. That helps a little bit to have a proper training week. Nothing too special in terms of personal news. We still have Patrick Bamford and Max Wöber out. They're both not available. There's a question mark behind Manu Solomon. Obviously, he had a big bruise after a kick, after a nasty tackle in the last game. In the last couple of days, he wasn't able to join us in team training, so it will be a tight race for him. So we still have hope that he's progressing well, and hope that he can return back to team training perhaps tomorrow, or then latest also on Sunday, because if he's not able to train, then obviously he won't travel with us and won't be available. So it will be a tight race with him, but he's more or less, at the moment at least, the only question mark.
Good luck on Monday. Thank you.
Thank you.